All right, guys, welcome back to a new video. This is the first video of the series part of 52 total videos I want to post this year, as I talked about in my last video. So if you guys haven't watched that video, I highly recommend go ahead and watch the first introductional video. Definitely makes sense on why I'm doing this, what my journey is, all of that kind of good stuff. And then definitely come back to this video. But got some exciting news for you guys this week. We've been, obviously, this is the first week that I've kind of documented and wanted to kind of talk about. Learned a lot of stuff that I want to share with you guys in this video. Also wanted to update you guys. And I think the best way to kind of start off is by updating you guys on my business side of things, how that's going, what's happening, and some knowledge around that. And then also go into kind of a little bit more of a generic and broader topics as well of what I've kind of learned. So first of all, I don't remember if I kind of talked about this the first video. I might have just kind of slipped through my mind. But the business that I'm running right now and operating is a real estate agency, a marketing agency within the real estate niche. We help realtors, team leads, brokers, solo agents, all that good stuff get more seller listings through Facebook advertisement, go high level, optimization, follow-ups, all of that kind of good stuff. Every single thing that pretty much you guys know about the agency space, that's kind of what we're doing. As well as some other small little key, like golden nuggets, you could call them, that we also have implemented that has helped us a lot with in terms of delivering great service and having a great sales system and also getting a lot of appointments in. Talking about appointments, the first thing I want to talk with you guys about today is volume. So I've kind of noticed this more throughout this week, just because I feel like when you're more conscious over like documenting some parts of your life, some parts of your business, you notice more stuff more frequently, if that makes sense. So I've noticed how important volume is. Yes, I did know volume is very important. Everybody's heard Alex Hormozy, volume negates luck, right? So everybody knows that volume is very essential when it comes to outreach, especially in a niche where you have a marketing agency, in a business where you have a marketing agency, if you have a coaching offer, if you have a consulting offer, if you have a info product, outreach is everything. And when outreach is everything, volume is everything. And I could try to explain this very simply. So I learned this from one of my mentors in the past. Business is an extension of yourself. I haven't written anything here, but I want to showcase what I mean by this. So if you kind of compare your life to your business and the business's life and your life, everybody's going to face entropy one time in their lifetime. So is your business. Your business is going to die unless you iterate it and do some correct things in order to keep it alive for a longer period of time. But there are going to come changes where you have to adapt. And if you don't adapt to those environmental changes in your business, you're going to die. Just as you have in biology, right? You have animals that need to, and insects that need to develop a specific way in order to survive the environment that they're in. Hence why some animals have different type of skin in hotter countries and warmer climates than they have in colder countries. But that's kind of off topic. But just to remind you guys on that, like business and life, they have the same thing where if you don't keep it alive, it's going to die. And especially with a marketing agency or a agency model or whatever service-based business you have, that's the best way you can put it. The only thing literally showing if your business is going to be alive and keeping it alive is the amount of appointments you have, is the amount of appointments you book, the amount of people you're actually able to talk about on your offer and actually consider selling to and actually get as a client. That's the main thing, the main metric you want to track in order to see if your business is alive. So if we compare this, so let's say you have a person that is in the hospital, that person is about to die, and he has one lifeline connected to him, right? So this one lifeline is literally the only thing stopping him from dying and also stopping him from being alive, or actually keeping him alive for now. If he keeps relying on this one lifeline, if this one lifeline completely shuts off, he's dead, right? That's how I want you guys to see it. In the same way, if your business, if you have your calendar right here, excuse the drawing, not good at drawing at all, but if this is your calendar, and you have one lifeline in your calendar, as in one outbound system or one way of getting appointments, you're relying on one thing, and it's more likely that this thing is going to fade out and eventually lead to entropy, which is what you don't want. You don't want your business to lead to entropy. You don't want to rely on one thing. And this is one key thing that I did wrong in the beginning of starting my business, which is why I want to talk with this about you guys, because it's extremely important. I did this wrong where I had this mentality that, okay, because I'm in real estate, I do cold calling. If I just focus on cold calling and keep doing cold calling, I'm going to be great at cold calling. That's the only thing that I'm going to need. Yes, it's true, somewhat. thing with cold calling is it's very skill based. The amount of skill that I have right now after 4, 5 straight months of doing cold calling is, or like 4 months now, more realistically, is a lot better than someone starting out. So my appointment booking rate, the amount of appointments I book, for context, I book around realistically 5 to 7 appointments on a daily basis. It could be more, could be less. It depends on how many people pick up. But my pickup rate to appointment booking rate is around 8 to 12%. And on bad days, it could be like 5, 6%. Really depends on my mood. And that's something else I can get into on another day as well, where I kind of walk you through guys on the back end as well. But if I just rely on that, I only have 6 to 7 appointments a day, or like even like let's go minimum, let's say 5 appointments a day. And if that's the only way I'm getting appointments from, it's gonna lead to death somehow. If I burn out, or if, well, probably not gonna do that, but if something happens in terms of I can't cold call or something, the market's down, whatever happens, like my reliance on that one lifeline is gonna literally lead to my business dying and failing. So you need to have more outbound strategies. You do need to have other places where you are getting your business from, where you're getting appointments from. So for me, I realized, okay, cold calling, since I'm good at cold calling now, I've put in a lot of time, I can hire a cold caller, which is something that I've already done. So this week, around yesterday, I had the onboarding call with him successfully. We went ahead and onboarded him, and he's going to start cold calling from tomorrow, from Monday. So next week will be very exciting to kind of see how that goes, and that would be pretty exciting because that's when I've implemented a second strategy. Now, I'm also looking to implement a third strategy, which is called SMS. Reason being, with realtors, with real estate agents, the best way to get in contact with them is through their phone. That's something they always have on them, and it's probably the best way to get in contact with them. You have emails as well, but they get bombarded with spam emails. So it's very hard. Social media, again, very hard. The best ways you need to figure out, like for you, if you're someone that is looking to start a service-based business or you're in a different niche, figure out like wherever, whatever platforms, where you can find your niche. For example, dentists, you don't want to call dentists because 90% of dentists have gatekeepers who are just going to waste your time. You want to maybe try focusing on, if it's dentist, you want to focus on social media maybe, or LinkedIn. That's probably the best way, or email, right? So you want to figure that out. Then you want to dial in on three places. And the reason you want to dial in on three places is because if I, for example, book in 20 appointments a week from cold calling, and then I book, let's say my cold caller, since he's training, let's say he books, I don't know if you can, yes, let's say he books 10 a week, and then from cold SMS, I get 15, as you can see here. So based on this, I have a total of 45 appointments booked every single week based on this system because I have three different outbound strategies. This is why volume is everything. Literally, even if your sales is completely out of the water, like it's so bad, like your sales conversion rate, you'll still get clients. Because let's say you have 45 and then average show up rate, say 22 and a half, obviously not very accurate, but let's say 45, 45, and in a span of a month, you have 90 people that show up to your sales calls. 90. Now ask yourself, like, even if you have a 5% sales conversion rate on 90 people, that's like 4.5 clients, and even less than that, like a minimum of like 3 to 2 clients. So that's why volume is so important. Volume is literally everything, and that is the first point that I wanted to talk about in this video, where you guys want to really dial in on volume. It's literally the life of your business. Like if you don't dial in on volume, if you don't get appointments, it's literally going to lead to the death of your business. Obviously, if you have a service-based business, most businesses as well, but please dial in on volume. It's something that I didn't do, something that I am going to do right now and I'm focusing on right now. So it'll be fun, very fun to kind of see next week when I update you guys and talk about it and see kind of how that goes based on these things that I've talked about. Obviously, the first maybe 1 to 2 weeks, the metrics are not going to be there in terms of maybe not 45 appointments per week, but at least we're going to be getting there once we see what's working, iterate it, and then keep spinning it and reinventing the wheel. The second thing I wanted to talk about is something I've realized more mentally. It's the fact that you guys probably already know this as well and probably have heard this a lot of times. The fact that it's always you versus you. Like the only competition is yourself. It's yourself, the man in the mirror. Like you can't really compare yourself to anybody else, and you can't because comparison is the thief to joy. That's number one. Number two is that you don't know where someone has had their experience. For example, I could give you an example. In the agency space, there's a lot of people that have posted videos talking about how they went from 0 to 20K a month in like 5 months. Yes, it's possible. Not neglecting that. I don't have limiting beliefs towards that. It's very possible. But what they don't talk about is their experience prior to that. Now, it could be that that person doesn't have any experience prior to that. They just dial in all volume and just naturally are good at speaking, leading them to being good at sales and closing more deals. But 90%, a lot of those people have prior sales experience. For example, if I am like I'm 19 right now, right? Let's say I was from like 16 to 19, I was in sales. Let's say I was in real estate, whatever it may be. Let's say I knew a lot about marketing. When I started my agency like at 19, the time frame it would take for me to sign clients and actually sell them would be significantly less based on the experience I have prior to starting my agency. But someone starting from scratch, you don't know how to book appointments. You don't know how to make appointments show up. You don't know how to talk to people on the sales calls. You don't know how to sell. You don't know how to deliver your service, how to deliver conviction. You don't know how to talk well. There's a lot of different things that you need to do and a lot of skills you need to adapt to in order to deliver good service and actually be able to make more money. So it's going to take you a lot more time. Hence why volume is important, because if you dial in on volume, you're going to speak with more people. Speaking with more people, you're going to improve faster in a shorter time frame, meaning you're going to get your results a lot faster, right? See how it makes sense? So it's very important. But that's why you guys got to realize, like I need to realize this myself, like it's always you versus you. Like the only person stopping you from achieving you to get where you want to go, let's say you're down here and these are like steps and you want to go, okay, that was a very bad drawing, but let's say you're like here, want to take those steps up here. Only person stopping and initially able to sabotage yourself is you, nobody else. Wow, I'm not good at drawing at all. It's yourself. It's nobody else. It's not your mom, it's not your dad, it's not your friends. It's nobody else, it's yourself. Even if it is your friends, you're the one talking with them. You're the one on social media, you're the one calling them, you're the one it always goes down to yourself. Another good thing that you can think about this is that, like, for example, stress, or like where we're thinking like, am I good enough, or is this even going to work? Doubt, whatever it is, it really comes down from not doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you genuinely know what you're supposed to do on a day-to-day basis, and you genuinely do that every single day without fail, there's absolutely no way that you're not going to be and not be satisfied, non-dependent on whatever the outcome is. Like, let's say you don't even get to your goal, but you did every single thing that you need to do every single day. Like, you're gonna get to where you want to be, and if not, you'll at least be very satisfied over yourself, not be kind of thinking bad about yourself because you did your best. So it's very important. And you need to realize, like, if you're not able to do something, it's all your fault. Like, literally, it's all your fault. If you put yourself a goal, if you put yourself like a minimum standard that I want to achieve this, and if you're not able to do that, it's your fault. It's your fault. There's literally not a single difference between anybody watching this video, myself, or Iman Ghazi, or Charlie Morgan, or like Grant Cardone, whoever it is, like Patrick Bet David. Not a single difference. All of us breathe the same air. All of us have the same amount of hours every single day. Like Elon Musk, he has the same amount of hours that I have every day. But yet he's up here and I'm here. I'm not trying to compare myself to Elon Musk. I don't even want to be a billionaire like that. But still, like think about it. It's the same thing. It's all about what you do in that time frame, as well as that you actually just realize the only person stopping you achieving where you want to be and your goals is yourself. There's nothing else. There's no one else that can stop you. There's no one else that will stop you. It's only going to be yourself. So that's very important to realize that. And once you realize that, it's actually going to change everything. Like literally, you can, like everything can change in the blink of a second. Like if you're watching this right now and you realize that you're not where you want to be, just realize it's yourself. It's because of yourself. It's your own actions. Your beliefs lead to your actions, which then lead to the results you see in your life, right? Which then leads to the reality. So if you are not where you want to be, it's just because you haven't done what you need to do to be where you want to be. You're doing right now, every single day, exactly what you need to do to stay where you are. So figure out, what is it that I need to do to be able to not stay where I'm at, but actually transcend to that area and that to that place where I'm the person that I want to be. Right? That's what you got to figure out, and that's what you got to do every single day. Like literally discipline every single day. You put a time to wake up at that time. Put a time to sleep, sleep at that time. Put a time to rest, rest at that time. I I was about to say contribute, but I recommend resting. Like literally put a time, like these people that say like work 14, 15, 16 hours a day. It's not realistic, man. Like yes, you can work that many hours, but put time to rest and rest at that time. Don't rest at any other time. Keep your phone out of the room. Keep every single distraction out of your room. Work, 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 work. Put down an hour or two where you can literally just, I mean, heck, if you want to play games, play games. Call of Duty, do some sniping. Fortnite, play some Fortnite. Build some 90s. I don't know, whatever it is, just put some time off, spend some time with your family. That's kind of what I do. Watch a movie, something like that. Like whatever it is, take some time off and actually take a break. take some rest, and then work, because work quality over work hours is a lot better. Literally, imagine this, like Iman Gadzhi's or whoever is successful person it is, his 5 hours, he does a lot more than a lot of us do in like 14 hours, just because of the focus and the quality. So dial in on the focus, dial in on the quality. It's much more important than the work hours. Because I find myself doing this as well. I'm very like, because all of the social media, all of that kind of stuff, I'm very like, oh, I gotta work 12 hours, I gotta work 11 hours, gotta work 15 hours. Gotta work a lot. Yes, not saying that, but work on quality. Don't just get the work in just to get the work in, because then the result and then what you're trying to achieve is just gonna be very bad. It's gonna be shit, bro. It's not gonna yield the results that you want to see. Like if you, for example, if you're doing cold calling is a very energy draining activity. So if you put yourself up to doing 6 cold calls, 6 hours of cold calling, realistically, I'm going to tell you out of experience, you're only going to be able to do 3 to 4 with peak performance and energy. After that, it's literally going to be like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, and they're going to listen. They're not going to show up. They're not going to talk to you, and all that bad stuff. So instead of putting a time frame on it, put a goal, put a minimum standard that if I book X amount of appointments, or if I do this X task, I'm going to be able to take a break, or I'm going to be able to do this next task and then go over to the next task. That's a lot better than just having a time frame, because then you're just going to be calling, and then you're just going to be doing without taking significant rest and putting time aside to actually do what you need to do, essentially. Mm, The last thing that I wanted to touch upon on this video is more so the fact that everything is energy. Like everything is energy. All you put out and all you get in is energy. All of us have a specific bottle, you could say, of energy every single day. The energy could be spent on either your business, your work, your purpose. 100% of that could be spent on that. But if you go ahead on social media, you go ahead and look at other people, you're spending that energy being jealous and spending time on looking at other people and looking at what they have and envying them, and maybe, like, God forbid, envying them, but that's maybe what some people are doing without even thinking about it. But the thing is that you're going to be doing stuff, you're going to be spending your energy on stuff that you don't want to spend your energy on. We only have a limited amount of energy every single day, so spend it wisely and spend it on what you want to spend it on. Put all of it in your business, put all of it in your work, and you're literally never going to fail. And one thing I've realized, and one thing that I'm going to leave this video with, is the fact that, like, lucky days do exist, right? Heard this from a lot of people, but lucky days do actually exist. You never know what that lucky day is. So if you show up every single day you show up, you're never going to miss that lucky day. You might just end up being lucky, and you might just get the results that you're looking to achieve. So I feel like this video was a pretty raw video, pretty raw, just me talking about kind of what I've learned this week, kind of about the business. Obviously, next week I'm really looking forward to it because I have, again, as mentioned, implemented some new strategies. So we're going to be seeing how that yields. I need to also figure out how I can film myself and also film my screen, because I want to show you guys as well. Obviously, I'm telling you guys about all these metrics and all that stuff, but I want to show you guys as well. So I'm going to figure out a way, like the best platform to maybe put myself up on the side. I know Loom works, but Loom is very like bad quality, and where I can kind of put myself up on the side, fill my screen. So I'm gonna figure that out, and then I'll be able to get that with you guys next week as well. But yeah, really excited to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wish you guys a great week ahead. And we're gonna go ahead and just talk next week then. Alrighty, see you guys.